Part one of me removing the CV axle. As you can see, I've already got it out. Pretty simple job. I just did my coilovers, and as I was pulling out, after I disconnected the ball joint and pulled it out, this separated, and it's all messed up. Actually, hold on one second. I'll put it down and show you. See, it's no longer in the joint, and I don't know. I did research online. I mean, yeah, I got it to kind of go back in, but I'm not going to rebuild the CV half shaft, so I just replaced it. I already ordered one. It should be coming in later today. So right now I'm just going to go over real quickly the procedure I did to take it out. All right, so with this out of the way, underneath where it bolts into the transmission, right up there, you see that? All right, there's 6 bolts that are actually they share this little, I don't know, connector. I don't really know what it is, but I'm gonna use it when I replace it. I didn't know that was gonna be there. Nobody really mentioned it in any of the videos that I watched. But yeah, so you just kind of spray the backside with some PB or whatever penetrating lubricant, and I don't have a helper, so I just used a brake pedal depressor, or AKA a piece of wood and a freaking towel to keep my seat from getting scratched up. Pushed down the brakes, kept it out in neutral. I put it in neutral. I mean, I'm only assuming that if you put a bunch of pressure on the spindle, it's not good for it. So yeah, I wanted the brakes to hold it. If you have a person to help, it'd probably be a lot easier for them to step on the brakes. And so pretty much, yeah, that's all I did. I used my 10 millimeter triple square. It had to be on actually at first I used a very small breaker bar. It didn't bend from this job. That was a different job. They actually came off pretty easy, considering, I mean, they were not too tight at all. So I'm going to have to figure out the torque spec on that later and make sure I get it nice and good. But as you can see, there's 6 bolts. They each share this connecting band, bracket, whatever you want to call it. And you just have to, if you're working by yourself like I was, you're going to have to get up and down a few times, whatever. I could use the exercise. So it's going to be under like this. You can do 2 at a time, and then you're going to spin it, put the brake on, brake the other 2, spin it, brake the other 2, and then, after you get to the last set broken, like, not broke, but loosened, you can remove your brake pedal depressor, but you're going to have to keep, coming in and out and pushing the pedal back in. I'm sure you get the point. After you do that, then you can just use a regular old ratchet and, spin it while you're under the car, take out the bolts, and it pops out from underneath there. Then you're going to come to the front side and, undo the axle bolt. It's a 1 1/16. I'm not quite sure the metric conversion. I think it might be like a 27 millimeter, but you're going to have to double check on that. And, I just used my impact gun, took it out, and then undid or loosened up and then removed the 3 16 millimeter nuts that hold the ball joint on. For installation, and actually, after I did the ball joints, I just split it, took this, lowered the control arm, and I was able to, wiggle out the CV axle out this side coming forward. You might be able to drop it down the other way. I just happen to be out here. I'm not sure, but I might have to take off the sway bar link for reinstallation, but I will find out later when the half shaft gets in. So right now, that's all I really have to say about that. It's a fairly simple procedure. Should only take you about 20 minutes by yourself just to get it out. I'm guessing 20 minutes to get it back in. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll see you when I'm putting it back on. No good. Getting replaced today. All right, so the CV's in. It's not an OEM replacement. This was kind of a rush job. I just needed to get it in. The OEMs are kind of expensive, but installation was just like I thought. Reverse of the removal. You got the 6 bolts. It's a much easier, if they can see, and they can't really see, but it's just like I showed. There's 6 bolts that hold the CV in place, and they have the brackets on it again. I torqued it to 45 foot-pounds. I was seeing different measurements all over the place between 30 and 50, so I went with 45 and a couple jobs of Loctite. Still got to tighten this down still. It's still a little loose, but I'm going to just take my gun to that. Once again, torque specs are variant, so you might want to just go and get your own, find the torque specs. I'm going to crank this down with a gun. It says 200 foot-pounds. My gun is well powerful to do that. I might put a torque stick on it. But I mean, yeah, that's it. CV axle's in, and fairly easy replacement. I did not have to remove the sway bar link. You just kind of put it up and in, and then I also had somebody to step on the brakes for me. That way I wasn't getting in and out, up and down and stuff. Made life much easier just to stay underneath there with somebody on the brakes and, torquing it to spec. So CV axle's in, pretty simple, and nothing. There's, it's just once you get in there, you'll see it's a pretty, you look at it and you'll get it. So good luck if you're trying to do a CV axle, and hopefully you don't have to, but if you do, it's a pretty simple fix. And we'll see how this one lasts, but I'm definitely getting OEM replacement soon. All right, that's it.